Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new on here, my name is Philip and this is Phil Reacts. Yes, today we are diving into one of the most important albums ever created in music history, Abbey Road by the Beatles. Now, before we even jump in, before we even press play, that it's important to understand just how legendary this album really is. Abbey Road came out, you guys already know, in 1969, during a really complicated time for the Beatles. At this point, the band was already dealing with tension behind the scenes, creative differences, and the reality that their journey together was slowly coming to an end. Even though Let It Be released after this, Abbey Road is widely considered the final album the Beatles truly recorded together as a band. And what makes that so powerful is the fact that instead of falling apart creatively, they somehow came together and made one of the greatest album ever recorded. This project to me has some of the most iconic songs in music history. We've got Come Together, we've got Something, we've got Here Comes the Sun. But people also talk about this album because of the production. Because of the songwriting, and especially the famous medley on side B. That made fans consider one of the greatest closing sequences ever made. What's crazy is that this album didn't just influence rock music. It actually influenced pop, progressive rock, hard rock, alternative music. Honestly, almost every genre that came after it. A lot of modern studio techniques, layered harmonies, and album sequencing ideas that artists use today were pushed forward by records like this. And so even if you've never heard an Abbey Road front to back, just like myself, chances are you've already heard music inspired by it. And then there's the emotional side of the album. Knowing this was basically the Beatles farewell statement, and it gives the music an entirely different weight. A lot of people describe this album as the sound of four legendary musicians trying to create one last masterpiece together before everything ended. That alone to me makes this feel bigger than just a normal listening experience. So today, guys, I really want to pay attention to everything. The vocals, the lyrics, the harmonies, the instrumentation, production choices, emotions, all of it. I want to understand why this album has remained untouchable for decades, and why so many people still call it one of the greatest albums ever made. So with that being said, let's grab our headphones, sit back and relax, and let's just experience Abbey Road together. So looking at it here, including the side B, this album comes with 17 tracks. Yes, put this out there. I've already heard a couple of songs on there. I've heard It Comes Together, I've heard Something, I've heard Maxwell's The Silver Hammer, happens to be my favorite. I've heard Oh Darling. Okay, I've heard I Want You. Yeah, I've basically listened to most of the songs on side A. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to pay attention to the lyrics, the vocals, everything, the production choice, everything. Yeah, so enough of the long intro. This album spans a little over 47 minutes. So it's 47 minutes and 29 seconds. So the Beatles, Abbey Road, track number 1, Come Together. Let's take a listen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Woo. Okay.
He went
Okay. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
Come together.
Ooh.
Right now. Over me. He back production. He got
Yeah.
walrus gumboot. He got
Okay.
oh no sideboard. He want spinal cracker. He got feet down below his knee. Hold you in his armchair. You can feel his disease. Come together right now over me. Right.
Wow. Wow. Like this.
He roller coaster. He got early warning. He got
Okay.
muddy water. He want
Yeah.
mojo filter. He said one and one and one is three. Got to be good looking 'cause he's so hard to see. Come together
Ooh.
right now over me.
Wow. Ooh. Yeah. 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 Come together. All right, guys. Yes, the first song, Come Together. And wow. Like I mean, I've heard this song so many times, and I have to say, listening to it again, I feel like this is an incredible way to open an album. The first thing that grabbed me, is that hypnotic bass line, because I mean it instantly creates this dark, slick atmosphere that I feel like feels effortlessly cool. John Lennon's vocal performance here, as always, is amazing, because I mean he sounds relaxed and mysterious, all at the same time, almost like he is pulling me, you and I, the listeners, into this strange world, one line, at a time. The lyrics are abstract and surreal, in my opinion, but somehow that actually adds, to the song's personality, instead of making it confusing. Musically, the groove is unbelievable, because I mean every instrument is locked in perfectly. The bass, the drums, the guitar fills, and the subtle piano touches, all work together without overcrowding the mix. I'm honestly shocked about how modern this sounds for a 1969 song, because I mean the production still feels clean and stylish today, and I mean we are in 2026. The chorus It's super memorable, too. And to me, it's one of those hooks that sticks in your head immediately, after hearing it once. This song doesn't just start the album. I feel like it establishes confidence, attitude, and atmosphere right away, guys. Beautiful way to start the album, like I said from the beginning. I love it. Yeah, let me know what you think about this song down in the comment section. Moving on to the second song, Something. Yeah, let's go.
Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she woos me. I don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in how. Somewhere in her smile, she knows that I don't need no other lover. Something in her style that shows me. Don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in how.
Yeah.
You're asking me, will my love grow? I don't know. I don't know. You stick around now, it may show. I don't know. I don't know. Something in the way she knows, and all I have to do is think of her. Something in the things she shows me. I don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in how.
Okay, guys, second song, Something. Wow. I mean, this track feels absolutely timeless. I mean, George Harrison really proved himself, as a world-class songwriter here, on this particular song, because to me, this is one of the most beautiful love songs I have ever heard. The melody is simple but emotionally powerful, and I mean the way the guitar gently responds to the vocals definitely creates this emotional conversation throughout the entire song. George Harrison, his vocal delivery to me felt sincere and mature, which makes the lyrics hit even harder because they sound honest instead of overly dramatic. I also love how the the orchestration adds depth without taking attention away from the core emotion of the track. The bass, the bass playing from Paul McCartney is also I mean, it's incredible too, because it quietly adds the movement and elegance underneath everything else happening musically. I have to say this song feels warm, very reflective, almost like a a mature perspective on love rather than a fantasy version of it. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. But honestly, this is one of those songs where you completely understand why the Beatles are considered legendary. Yeah, let me know what you think about this song down in the comment section, guys. We are moving on to the third song, Maxwell's Silver Hammer. Let's go. I love this song, by the way.
Joan was quizzical, studied metaphysical science in the home. Late nights all alone with a test tube. Maxwell Edison, majoring in medicine, calls her on the phone.
Yeah.
Can I take you out to the pictures, Joan? But as she's getting ready to go, a knock comes on the door.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, Maxwell silver hammer came down upon her head. Bang, bang, Maxwell silver hammer made sure that she was dead. Back in school again, Maxwell plays the fool again. Teacher gets annoyed,
Yeah.
wishing to avoid an unpleasant scene. She tells Max to stay
love that
when the
guitar
class
riff.
has gone away, so he waits behind, writing 50 times, I must not be so. But when she turns her back on the boy, he creeps up from behind.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, Maxwell silver hammer came down on her head. Bang, bang, Maxwell silver hammer made sure that she was dead. BC 31 said we caught a dirty one. Maxwell stands alone, painting testimonial pictures. Rose and Valerie screaming from the gallery.
Yeah.
Say he must go free. The judge does not agree, and he tells them so. But as the words are leaving his lips, a noise comes from behind. Bang, bang, Maxwell silver hammer came down upon his head.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, Maxwell silver hammer made sure that he was dead.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that was the third song, Maxwell Silver Hammer. A lot of people don't really like the song, but to me, it's one of my favorite songs from the Beatles. I mean, this song completely caught me off guard the first time I actually heard it, because I feel like it sounded so cheerful whilst telling such a dark story. The contrast between the upbeat piano melody and the bizarre lyrics creates this strange mix of humor and discomfort that only the Beatles in my opinion could pull off. Paul McCartney sounded like he's having fun with every second of this performance, and you can hear how theatrical the whole arrangement is supposed to feel. The production is packed with little details too, especially the playful percussion and sound effects that I feel like I make the song feel almost cartoonish at times. I can already tell this is probably one of the more divisive songs on the album, because some people will love the creativity, whilst others might find it too weird. Personally, I respect how fearless, the Beatles were, creatively before, they never, seemed interested in repeating themselves. Even when the subject matter, is strange, the musicianship to me is still incredibly polished and memorable. This track definitely adds personality to the album and shows how unpredictable, the Beatles, could be musically. Yeah. Share your thoughts about this one down in the comment section, guys. Moving on to the fourth song. Oh, darling. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, darling,
Okay.
please believe me.
Wow.
I'll never do you no harm. Believe me when I tell you, I'll never do you no harm.
Yeah.
Oh, darling, if you leave me, I'll never make it alone. Believe me when I beg you.
Yeah. I beg you.
Don't ever leave me alone.
Yeah.
When you told me you didn't need me anymore.
Yeah. Woo.
Well, you know, I nearly broke down and cried. When you told me you didn't need me anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I nearly broke down and died. Oh, darling, if you leave me, I'll never make it alone. Believe me when I tell you,
Yeah.
I'll never do you no harm. Believe me, darling, when you told me you didn't need me anymore. Well, you know, I nearly broke down and cried. When you told me you didn't need me anymore.
Okay.
Well, you know, I nearly broke down and died. Oh, darling, please believe me. I'll never let you down. Oh, believe me, darling.
Believe me, darling.
When I tell you,
Yeah.
I'll never do you no harm.
Whoa. Okay, guys, the fourth song. Oh, darling. Yes. Man, Paul McCartney absolutely, poured his soul into this song. I mean, into this performance. His vocals, sound very, very raw, emotional, and almost desperate, which to me gives the song so much authenticity and emotional weight. You can hear the influences of blues, soul, and early rock and roll, all over this track, especially in the way the piano and guitar, interact, with the vocal delivery. What really, really stood out to me is how imperfect, parts of the singing felt, because those rough edges actually make the emotions stronger instead of weaker, in my opinion. The harmonies also, in the background, are I mean, they are beautiful too because they add some level of richness, without distracting from Paul's lead performance. Lyrically, this song captures fear and vulnerability in a very, very direct way, and that honesty makes it feel relatable. Even decades later. I mean, the production also does a great job, of keeping the focus on the emotion, instead of overcomplicating the arrangement. This honestly feels like one of the most passionate vocal performances, on the entire album, in my opinion. Yeah. Share your thoughts about the song down the comment section, after listening to it for the thousandth time. Yeah. Let's go. Moving on to the fifth song, Octopus's Garden. Yeah, let's go.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden.
Yeah, Ringo.
In the shade.
Yeah, let's go.
He'd let us in, knows where we've been, in his octopus's garden in the shade. I'd ask my friends to come and see.
Yeah.
An octopus's garden with me. I'd like to be under the
Yeah.
sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would be warm.
Let's go.
Below the storm, in our little hideaway beneath the waves, resting our head on the seabed in an octopus's garden near a cave. We would sing and dance around because we know we can't be found.
Let's go.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Yeah.
We would shout and swim about the coral that lies beneath the
Yeah.
waves.
Okay.
Oh, what joy
Let's
for
go.
every girl and boy, knowing they're happy and they're safe. We would be so happy, you and me. No one there to tell us what to do. I'd like to be under the sea.
Let's
In
go.
an octopus's garden
Nice.
with you.
This is the jam.
In an octopus's garden with you. In an octopus's garden with you.
All right. Yes, the fifth song, Octopus's Garden. Guys, this track, brings it definitely brings such a fun and refreshing energy to the album, I must say, guys. I mean, after some of the heavier emotional moments earlier, I feel like this song feels playful and light-hearted, in the best possible way. Ringo Starr's vocals have a genuine charm to them because he sounds approachable and sincere, rather than overly polished. The underway inspired production, I have to say, production details are really, really creative too, because little guitar effects and textures definitely make the song feel immersive and imaginative. I also think the simplicity of the lyrics work perfectly here, because this song, I have to say, isn't trying to be overly deep. It's definitely trying to create a mood and escape reality for a few minutes. Musically, the band sounds incredibly tight, and you can tell everyone is fully committed to making the song feel alive and colorful. There's also something comforting about the innocence of this track, because to me it feels optimistic and carefree. This is one of I feel like this is one of those songs that reminds you why the Beatles understood balance and pacing within an album. Yeah, definitely going to add this one to one of my favorite songs of the song. It's such a vibe. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah, let me know what you think about this one down in the comment section. Moving on to track 6, I Want You, She's So Heavy. Let's go. Yeah.
I want you.
Yeah.
I want you so bad. I want you. I want you so bad. It's driving me mad. It's driving me mad. I want you.
Yeah.
I want you so bad, babe. I want you. I want you so bad. It's driving me mad.
Okay.
I want you. I want you so bad, babe.
Yeah.
I want you. I want you so bad. It's driving me mad. It's driving me mad. I want you.
Let's go.
I want you so bad. I want you. I want you so bad. It's driving me mad. It's driving me
Okay. Yeah.
She's so.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. The set song "I Want You," she's so heavy. This song, right off the bat, this song is intense. The repetitive, structure definitely creates this hypnotic tension that slowly builds into something almost overwhelming by the end. John Lennon's vocal performance, to me, felt obsessed and emotionally consumed, which to me fits the song's dark atmosphere perfectly. The guitars are incredibly heavy too, especially for the late 1960s. And I mean, you can hear just how this track probably influenced future hard rock and metal bands. What impressed me the most is how patient the arrangement is, because I mean the Beatles, they definitely allowed the groove and repetition to create a suspense naturally, instead of rushing the song forward. The production also becomes more chaotic as the song progresses, making the listener feel trapped inside the soundscape. Then you get that shocking abrupt ending which honestly felt a bit unsettling, in the best and the possible way, because there's zero resolution. This track feels experimental, it feels daring, and way ahead of its time. Yeah, that's just what I think about it. Let me know what you guys also think about the song down in the comment section. Moving on to the 7th song, another George Harrison song, Here Comes the Sun. Let's go. Yeah, beautiful. Love it. Wow. Okay.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. Yes, the seventh song. Here comes the sun. This song, after listening to it for the thousandth time, feels like pure warmth, and optimism. George Harrison absolutely shines again here, because the songwriting is simple. It's definitely uplifting and emotionally comforting, without ever feeling forced. Acoustic guitar work, guys. It's beautiful. And the rhythm, has this gentle bounce to that I feel like immediately lifts your mood. I also love how the harmonies, blend together, because they create this, glowing atmosphere that perfectly matches the message, of the song. Lyrically, the track, feels, hopeful and healing, almost like, emerging, from a difficult period and finally seeing light again. The production is surprisingly detailed because, subtle changes, in the instrumentation definitely keeps the song evolving, without losing its peaceful energy. This is definitely one of those rare songs, that feels universally relatable because, almost everyone understands the feeling of waiting for difficult times, to pass. And honestly, it's impossible not to smile listening, to this track. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think about it, man. Moving on to the eighth song, Because. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the world is round, it turns me on. Because the world is round. Because the wind is high, it blows my mind. Because the wind is high. Love is old, love is new. Love is all, love is you.
Okay.
Because the sky is blue, it makes me cry.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes, the eighth song. Because, guys, I have to say, this is my first time actually hearing this song, and I mean, this song, sounds absolutely heavenly. The layered harmonies are easily one of the most, impressive vocal arrangements that I've ever heard. Because I mean, they definitely feel rich. They feel delicate and perfectly balanced, all at the same time. Musically, this track has this dreamy and almost cosmic atmosphere that to me makes it feel suspended in time. The happy chord style, keyboard and soft instrumentation to me gave the song an elegant texture, without overwhelming the vocals. I also appreciate how patient the Beatles are here, because they definitely went and they allowed the harmonies and the atmosphere to carry the emotional impact, instead of relying on big dramatic moments. The lyrics are simple, but they work because the emotion comes more from the sound and delivery than a complicated storytelling. Production wise, this track is stunning, because in every vocal layer felt crystal clear, whilst still blending together beautifully. This feels less like a traditional song and more like an experience. Yeah, exactly what I think about it. Let me know what you think about this one down in the comment section, guys. So from what I'm seeing here, track 8 ends the side A, and I mean, from track 9 downwards to track 15 is track 17 is the medley. Yeah. So that the track 9 is You Never Give Me Your Money. Track 10, Sunkin. Track 11, Me, Mr. Mustard. Track 12 is Polythene Pam. 13, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. We have Golden Summers. We have Carried Away, The End, and Her Majesty. And I heard somewhere that, I mean, in order to get the whole experience of this song, this medley, I have to listen to, everything, like together, basically. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pause. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to listen to all the songs from track 9 to track 17, and then I'll share my thoughts, get my general thoughts about it at the end of the video. Yeah. So we are moving on to the medley. That's side B. Yeah. We start with You Never Give Me Your Money. Let's go. Yeah. Sounds good. Whoa.
You never give me your money.
You never give me your money.
You only give
Whoa.
me your funny paper. And in the middle of negotiations, you break down.
Whoa.
I never give you my number. I only give you my situation.
Yeah.
In the middle of investigation, I break down.
Out of college, money spent, see no future, pay no rent. All the money's gone, nowhere to go. Any jobber got the sack, Monday morning, turning back. Yellow lorry, slow, nowhere to go.
Yeah. Wow.
One sweet dream. Pick up the bags, get in the limousine. Soon we'll be away from here. Step on the gas and wipe that
Yeah.
tear away. One sweet dream came true. Today came true. Today came true.
Wow.
Today, yes it did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. You never give me your money. We are moving on to Son Kin, track 10. Okay. What's going on? Yeah, Son Kin, track 10. Wow. Yeah. Whoa. What the hell? That's Spanish. Okay. Yeah, so we're done with Son Kin. Moving on to Meet Mr. Masters.
In the park, shapes in the dark, trying to save paper. Sleeps in a hole in the road.
Okay.
Saving up to buy some clothes. Keeps a 10-bob note up his nose. Such a mean old man. Such a mean old man. His sister Pam works in a shop. She takes him out to look at the Queen. Only place that he's ever been.
Yeah.
Always shouts out something obscene.
Me and Mr.
Such a
Mustard.
dirty old man.
Yeah, this song is only 1 minute and 6 seconds.
Dirty old man.
Okay. Polythene Pam.
Well, you should see Polythene Pam. She's so good looking, but she looks like a man.
Yeah.
Well, you should see her in black, dressed in a polythene bag. Yes, you should see Polythene Pam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get a dose of it and just puts and kills. She's killer diller when she's at the hills. She's the kind of a girl that makes an use of the will.
Yeah.
You can say she was attractively built. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, look out! She came in through the bathroom window.
Okay, she came in through the bathroom window. Wow, this medley. Crazy.
By a silver spoon. But now she sucks it down and wonders.
Yeah.
By the banks of her own lagoon. Didn't anybody tell her? Didn't anybody see? Sunday's on the phone to Monday. Tuesday's on the phone to me.
Yeah.
She said she'd always been a dancer. She worked at 15 clubs a day. And though she thought I knew the answer, well, I knew what I could not say. And so I quit the police department
Yeah.
and got myself a steady job. And though she tried her best to help me, she could steal, but she could not rob. Didn't anybody tell
Yeah.
her? Didn't anybody see? Sunday's on the phone to Monday. Tuesday's on the phone to me. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on to Golden Slumbers.
Once there was a way to get back homeward. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. And I will sing a lullaby. Golden slumbers fill your eyes. Smiles awake you when you rise. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. And I will sing a lullaby.
Lullaby.
Once there was a way to get back homeward.
Wow.
Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. I will sing a lullaby.
Yeah, moving on to Carry That Weight. Wow.
You're gonna carry that weight.
Yeah.
Carry that weight a long time.
Yeah.
You're gonna carry that weight. Carry that weight a long time.
Let's go.
I never give you my pillow. I only send you my invitations. And in the middle of the celebrations, I break down.
Boy, you're gonna carry that weight. Carry that weight a long time. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight. Carry that weight a long time.
All right, guys. Yes. So the medley, side B, we listened from You Never Give Me Your Money to Carry That Weight. And I mean, the medley on side B honestly feels what's the word? Revolutionary, in my opinion, because it definitely transforms multiple shorter songs into one continuous emotional journey. What amazed me most after listening to this for the first time is how naturally everything transitions together, because the flow feels cinematic and instead of random. Songs like You Never Give Me Your Money and Golden Slumbers to me carry real emotional depth. While some track like Me and Mr. Mustard and Polythene Pam add character and energy to the sequence. The Beatles somehow I love the fact that they somehow managed to balance experimentation with accessibility, which is incredibly difficult to do successfully. I mean, the orchestration throughout this section is gorgeous too, because it gives the medley a grand, almost farewell like sort of feeling. I also think this part of the album highlights how strong the band was musically, because every single member contributed something memorable. By the time Carry the Weight and the end arrive, it genuinely feels emotional knowing this was essentially the Beatles saying goodbye. This medley alone explains why Abbey Road is considered one of the greatest albums ever recorded. Yes, like I said, we listened from You Never Give Me Your Money to Carry the Weight. We are left with the end, yeah, and then I think Her Majesty. Yeah, let's take a listen to the end. Yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, alright. Are you gonna be my dream tonight?
Whoa. 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 Yeah. Okay. Whoa.
And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
Okay. Okay, guys. So that was the end. And wow. Wow. I have to say, I mean, what an unbelievable closing statement. I mean, Ringo Starr. I mean, his drumming solo on this song, you know, is iconic because it's simple, it's tasteful, and you know, perfectly fits the emotional tone of the moment. Instead of, you know, feeling flashy for no reason, then you know, you get the, you know, guitar exchanges, you know, between Paul, George, and then John, you know, which honestly felt symbolic, like three musical, you know, voices, you know, having one final conversation together. The instrumentation throughout the song, you know, is incredibly rich, you know, but I love the fact that it never, you know, loses focus, because in every moment, you know, feels intentional. You know, lyrically, the closing line, you know, is legendary, you know, because it definitely captures, you know, so much emotion with such, you know, simple wedding. You know, there's also a feeling of, you know, closure here that makes the ending, you know, hit even harder, you know, once you know the history of the band. Production wise, everything sounded huge and, you know, polished, you know, without losing, you know, emotional intimacy. You know, this doesn't just, you know, feel like the ending of an album. You know, it feels like the ending, you know, of one of the most important chapters, you know, in music history. You know, few album endings have ever felt this meaningful. Yeah. So there's this other track, Her Majesty. It's only 25 seconds. I don't know, but let's see what that is all about.
Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she doesn't have a lot to say.
Whoa.
Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she changes from day to day. I wanna tell her that I love her a lot, but I gotta get a belly full of wine.
Whoa.
Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, someday I'm gonna make her mine. Oh yeah, someday I'm gonna make her mine.
Okay. Guys, this would have been a very, very beautiful song. It's just only 25 seconds. Oh, what a bummer. Wow. Guys, I have to say, at first I thought Her Majesty was just gonna be a throwaway, you know, little joke track, you know, but somehow it's really unforgettable. You know, the second it came on, it felt super random, you know, after the emotional ending of Abbey Road. But I feel like that is what makes it so iconic. I mean, it's short, only 25 seconds. It's playful and awkward and catchy, you know, all at the same time. I feel like you know, Paul McCartney's vocals, you know, felt really, really raw and, you know, personal here. You know, almost like, you know, you are hearing a quick demo, you know, he made for fun. The acoustic and the vibe, you know, gave it this, you know, cozy, old school sort of charm. And I mean, before, you know, you even fully process the song, you know, it's already over, you know. But somehow that, you know, tiny little melody, you know, sticks in your head. I mean, I mean, it's still here. I mean, I also love how, you know, it completely changes the mood after the end. You know, 1 second you are getting this massive, you know, emotional finale. Then suddenly the Beatles, you know, hit you with a is it 25 second throw song. That playful energy is honestly part of why people still love the band so much. Replay value, guys, weirdly high for such a tiny track. It's one of those songs instantly replay because your brain goes, wait, that's it. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. The Beatles, guys. Abbey Road. So now that we have finished listening to Abbey Road by the Beatles, front to back, I completely understand why this album is considered one of the greatest musical achievements of all time. This wasn't just an album, in my opinion. This one felt like an experience. It felt cinematic. It felt emotional. It felt experimental. It felt polished and deeply human, all at the same time. Listening to this album, what really impressed me most is how effortlessly the Beatles balanced, accessibility with creativity. Even when, the music, became experimental or unconventional, it never, lost, its, emotional core. Every single song had purpose, personality, and identity. But somehow, the album, still flowed together, as one cohesive, journey. That's incredibly difficult, to achieve, especially, on a project this ambitious. One of the, biggest strengths of this album, is the production. You can hear the evolution of studio recording, through this album because the layering, the mixing, transitions, the harmonies, and instrumentations, all feel way ahead of its time. Late 1960s. Songs like "Come Together," "I Want You," "She's So Heavy" sound shockingly modern because of how clean, atmospheric, and immersive the production is. The Beatles, they weren't just recording songs at this point. They were using the studio itself as an instrument. Every single sound felt intentional, from the placement of harmonies to the subtle guitar textures and orchestral arrangements. Another thing that stood out to me was how each member brought something unique to the album. John Lennon, rest in peace to him, he brought edge. He brought atmosphere and experimentation, with tracks like "Come Together" and "I Want You." Paul, he brought a melody. He brought emotional power and musical structure, especially on songs like "Oh Darling" and the side B medley. George Harrison honestly stole the show at times with something, and Here Comes the Sun, proving he was absolutely on the same writing level as John Lennon and Paul McCartney by this point. And Ringo Starr, he added personality, he added warmth, he added stability to the album, especially with Octopus's Garden. Guys, that's like my favorite song on this album, and his iconic drumming throughout the project. Emotionally, this album, I have to say, hits differently once you realize what was happening behind the scenes. The Beatles, they were approaching the end of their journey together, and even though there were tensions within the band, the music never felt bitter. Instead, Abbey Road feels reflective and almost poetic at times. There's also a feeling of closure throughout the album, especially during the medley leading to the end. Songs like Carried That Weight genuinely felt symbolic, almost like the band acknowledging the emotional burden of fame, of success, and everything they experienced together. That emotional context, I feel like adds another layer to the listening experience, because you are not just hearing the songs, you are hearing the final chapter of one of the most influential bands in history. Let's talk about the side B. The medley on side B, to me, might honestly be the greatest section of this album. The way the Beatles stitched together multiple shorter songs into one continuous musical piece was incredibly innovative and influential. The transitions felt seamless. The pacing constantly evolves, and emotionally it builds, towards a powerful finale. Golden Slumbers carry that weight. And the end, feel almost spiritual because of how beautifully they close the album. I mean, by the time that final lyric, hits, it genuinely, feels emotional because, you realize you've just experienced the end of an era. What's really, really amazing is how timeless this album still feels. We are in 2026, and this album still sounds amazing. Even decades later, Abbey Road, doesn't sound outdated at all. In my opinion, you can hear its influence everywhere. In rock and pop, in alternative music, progressive rock, and even modern production techniques. So many artists, borrowed ideas from this album. Whether it's layered harmonies, conceptual sequencing, experimental, sound design, or emotionally driven songwriting. This project definitely helped some modern music in ways that are still being felt today. If I had to talk about standout moments, there are so many, guys. The groove and swagger of come together, the beauty of something, and the emotional intensity of oh darling. The heaviness of I want you, she's so heavy, the warmth of here comes the sun, and the emotional payoff of the medley were all unforgettable. There honestly isn't a weak moment on this album, in my opinion, because even the stranger tracks contribute to the personality and pacing of the experience. At the end of the day, guys, Abbey Road feels like the Beatles at their most complete. It definitely combines experimentation with accessibility, technical brilliance with emotional honesty, and individual creativity with incredible group chemistry. This album isn't legendary just because it's old or influential. It's legendary because the music itself is genuinely incredible. For me personally, this absolutely lived up to the hype. It's one of those albums where you don't just hear the greatness, you feel it. Yeah, so for my final rating, I'll give this a 10 out of 10, a hard 10 out of 10. My favorite songs of this album come together. I love Something, I love Oh Darling, I love Here Comes the Sun, I love Octopus's Garden. That's just me. Where does Abbey Road rank for you amongst the Beatles and the albums? What's your favorite moments on the record? And what legendary album should I react to next? Yeah, guys, let me know. If you enjoyed this full reaction and review, make sure to like this video, comment below, and subscribe for more deep music reactions and reviews to classic albums such as this one. Much love to everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.